Welcome to Financial Insights Unveiled, where we decode the complexities of global economics. Today, we delve into the paradox of Africa's wealth in natural resources and its struggle with persistent poverty. This mystery, often referred to as the paradox of plenty or the resource curse, is a phenomenon that has puzzled economists and social scientists alike. It's a conundrum that sees nations endowed with abundant natural resources such as oil, minerals, and human labor, yet they grapple with high poverty rates, economic instability, and underdevelopment. Take Nigeria, for instance. It's Africa's largest oil producer, sitting on the world's 10th largest oil reserves. Yet, according to a report by the World Bank, over 40% of its population lives below the poverty line. Similarly, the Democratic Republic of Congo, home to a wealth of minerals including cobalt, copper, and gold, ranks among the world's poorest countries. So what's behind this paradox? The answer isn't straightforward. It's a complex interplay of factors, from governance issues and corruption to economic mismanagement and global market dynamics. Scholarly research and news articles often point to the Dutch disease, a term coined after the Netherlands experienced a decline in its manufacturing sector following the discovery of a large natural gas field in the late 1960s. The disease describes a situation where a resource boom leads to the neglect of other sectors, making the economy overly reliant on a single resource. Another factor is the volatility of commodity prices. Countries heavily dependent on natural resources often face economic instability due to fluctuating global commodity prices. When prices plummet, these nations are left vulnerable, leading to economic downturns and increased poverty. Moreover, the wealth from these resources can fuel corruption, as it provides a lucrative source of income for unscrupulous leaders. This, in turn, can lead to poor governance, lack of investment in public services, and widening income inequality. So, despite vast resources, Africa finds itself in an economic conundrum. Let's explore why. A key factor in this paradox is political challenges. Corruption and political instability are significant obstacles to Africa's economic progress. Let's take a closer look. Across the continent, governance issues often hinder economic development. From the cobalt mines of the Democratic Republic of Congo to the oil fields of Nigeria, corruption has seeped into the fabric of many societies, creating a vicious cycle of poverty and underdevelopment. Political instability, on the other hand, deters foreign investments, further straining economies. Countries like South Sudan and Somalia, embroiled in years of conflict, exemplify this. The ripple effects of these political challenges are felt across the continent, stifling growth and innovation. To turn the tide, African nations must prioritize good governance, transparency, and accountability. Only then can they attract the investments needed for economic growth and development. Without addressing these governance issues, the potential of Africa's natural resources remains untapped. Moving on to the business landscape, Africa's rich resources often face mismanagement and exploitation. The continent, blessed with a wealth of natural assets from oil and minerals to fertile lands and a young dynamic workforce, grapples with how to leverage these resources effectively. Imagine the potential if these resources were managed responsibly. If the gold, diamonds, and oil were not just extracted and exported, but processed and refined right there on the continent, generating jobs, skills, and industries. If fertile lands were farmed using sustainable methods that protect the environment while feeding the population, if the energy and creativity of the young workforce were harnessed through education, training, and entrepreneurship. Sadly, the reality often falls short of this potential. From the mines of the Democratic Republic of Congo to the oil fields of Nigeria, resources are frequently extracted in ways that benefit a few at the top, while the majority of people see little of the wealth. This is not just about corruption, although that plays a part. It's about a lack of investment in local industries, a lack of support for entrepreneurs, a lack of policies that encourage sustainable, inclusive growth. So, what's the solution? Business leaders need to step up. They need to prioritize responsible resource management, not just for the sake of ethics, but because it makes business sense. Companies that invest in local industries, that train and employ local people, that use resources sustainably, are the ones that will thrive in the long term. Business leaders also need to foster entrepreneurship. Give young people the skills, the funding, and the support to start their own businesses. Create an environment where innovation is rewarded, where businesses can grow and thrive. This is not a quick fix, but a long-term strategy that could unlock Africa's vast economic potential. By prioritizing responsible business practices, Africa can leverage its resources for economic growth. It's a journey fraught with challenges, but with the right leadership and policies, it's a journey that Africa can and must undertake. Looking ahead, addressing these challenges could lead to significant economic transformation in Africa by 2030. By fostering good governance, encouraging responsible resource management, and nurturing a collaborative spirit, the continent could witness a substantial influx of foreign investments. This financial injection is likely to spur infrastructural development, bridging the gap between urban and rural regions, and paving the way for an interconnected, vibrant economy. Simultaneously, there is the potential for a burgeoning middle class, driven by improved access to education and an expanding job market. This growth could stimulate domestic spending, further strengthening the economy from within. But that's not all. Africa, with its rich tapestry of cultures and diverse natural resources, could become a hub for innovation and sustainable business. Imagine a continent leading the way in green technology, capitalizing on its abundant sunlight for solar power, or harnessing the power of its mighty rivers for hydroelectric energy. Moreover, the continent's vast arable land could make it a powerhouse in sustainable agriculture, feeding not just its population, but the world. And with the rise of digital technology, we might see African entrepreneurs creating solutions tailored to local challenges, fostering a unique blend of innovation and tradition. With concerted efforts, Africa holds the promise of a brighter economic future. This isn't just about changing numbers on a balance sheet, but transforming lives, communities, and ultimately a continent. It's about creating a future where Africa's wealth is reflected not just in its resources, but in the prosperity of its people. In conclusion, Africa's journey toward economic transformation is multifaceted and complex. By addressing the interplay of political, business, and religious aspects, Africa can unlock its vast potential. The challenges are great, but so too are the opportunities. With improved governance, responsible resource management, and a collaborative approach, Africa can rise from its economic challenges to become a beacon of innovation and sustainable development. Join us next time on Financial Insights Unveiled as we continue to explore the dynamics of global economics. Until then, stay informed and empowered.